Welcome to the Real Leverage Podcast. My name is Colton Mogan. I'm here with co-host Tyler Gettleman. Today we'll be talking about entrepreneurial mindset and how our mindset has developed over time. So Tyler, you mentioned in grade 3 is when you got your first taste of being an entrepreneur.
That's right.
Now we're filming a podcast, you're breaking into the capital markets.
Yeah.
Help fill in that gap for me. How did that first take place, that mindset?
For sure. I mean, it's been a long haul. Big picture, it was just a big change from thinking and planning and becoming a doer, but that didn't happen overnight, obviously. I mean, if you date it back to grade 3, I don't know how many years ago that was. But from grade 3, obviously had that early taste of being an entrepreneur, like I touched on last episode. And then going past that, I kind of picked it back up again in grade 11 or 12 or whatever it was, where I started watching people on YouTube and learning how they kind of monetize their brand through products like, skincare or hair care, or clothing, whatever it was, or, online consulting or whatever it was. So I kind of started learning about that and how they were able to monetize their brand. And so that was interesting. That kind of reignited my fire and kind of kept pushing me through all the way until today. So did that for a while, kept doing that after I graduated, and then started learning more about different aspects of business, like investing, which is always a passion, and marketing and stuff like that, sales, and kind of in that process of learning those different things, I spent a lot of time analyzing not only the topic itself, so I could hopefully become an expert in it one day and have a well-rounded understanding, but also how do the people that operate in those business operate? What is their mindset? How do they succeed? And how is one guy not so successful and the next guy extremely successful? And I spent a lot of time over those years, leading into only really about 6 months ago, I would say, from the mindset was learning how it was done and understanding their mindset to doing it. That was the big switch. And like I said, that was about 6 months ago when you already were kind of getting established or beginning to get established in the industry. I knew I couldn't just keep planning and thinking. I knew how to take action, and you led good example for that. And really, I just started reaching out to people and like calling people, and took that action, and that compounded really quick. So it was kind of like addicting, hard to stop. And even after like a month, a few months back, I already had built some relationships, had some good conversations, and had a good understanding of maybe the direction I want to go, or just a better understanding of kind of junior mining and the capital markets as a whole. And then as that momentum kind of stacked up, like what did we say a few months ago? Like, wow, the momentum is really picking up, right?
For sure. And it's been crazy.
And that was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Now look at us today. Like, we're not going to dive into everything we're working on right now. Those will come as maybe those things come into fruition, but the opportunities really are stacking up now, and we're progressing a lot. So yeah, I was just really making that switch from being a thinker to a doer. And it was following what I was saying, going from making those calls and a little bit of networking and stuff. It was like, okay, well, what if I started posting on LinkedIn, once or twice a week? And I did that, and I was like, okay, kind of picking up a little bit, maybe some interest, maybe one call out of it for a few weeks. Okay, let me start posting on Twitter. And then I started an article, like I've got this Saturday, I guess whenever this will be posted, whatever it is, the Saturday the 16th, that'll be my 10th week in a row doing an article. And, that's a bit of a slow burn. That's hard to grow, but the LinkedIn and like the Twitter, like getting a lot of attention, like having some posts kind of blow up a little bit. And I've had lots of conversations, maybe 5 to 10 conversations now, all inbound, all from simply, hey, I've seen what you wrote on LinkedIn. That's great. Let's have a conversation. I'm curious what you're doing. I don't know if you've had anything like that.
I've had a little bit of that. What I find funny is really I didn't start posting much on Twitter till I'd say 3 weeks ago, and I went from 15 followers to 100. Obviously 100 isn't a lot, but it's being consistent and constantly posting and getting your name and brand out there.
Right.
It's quite interesting, and I like how you touched on how you were analytical, and then you went from always watching and learning how someone does something to actually doing it, and that was my problem as well.
For sure.
Even before I'd get into the capital markets, I was like, I need to take a year to learn everything before I can get in, but that's not how the world works. You just got to jump into the deep end.
Yeah, us especially, like we learn by doing so much, for sure. Like I don't know if maybe you can speak back on school. I know for me, like I never learned well in school, just sitting in front of the whiteboard and watching someone else talk about some theory or something. Sorry if any of my old teachers are listening to this. But yeah, we just learned by doing, and exactly that was the the big switch. It's like, let's just dive right in. I mean, even like this podcast, for example, last episode, it was like, we know the timing is right because of everything else we've been doing, like all the posting and the network we've been building through posting. And, you know, the other opportunities we're kind of coming into now is like, timing is now, let's get this podcast out. And it was not impulsive, but it was like a couple of days of planning, set it up, and let's get to it. And we just produced that. And now we've heard some feedback. We've upgraded the camera, we've upgraded the lighting. The scene's a little bit different, and it's just really a matter of doing, not just thinking and planning.
Well, it's funny because when we first planned, we were like, September 1st, we're going to learn how to be better communicators. Right. We're going to research everything. Yeah. And then we saw the momentum stacking up, and we're like, screw it, we need to do this right now.
Yeah.
And obviously it's already paid because we've had some good, I was talking about when I was on the Hello Ferry yesterday, I had 2 people from high school come up to me and talk to me saying they've seen the podcast and they like what we're doing. And that's just such a small scale, but it's all part of the plan. It's just compound interest. Exactly. Jumping in the deep end and seeing if you can swim. And you're going to learn eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, touching back on school, like you said, I was the same way. I didn't really listen to my teachers, nor did I believe you could only learn one way. Right. When my teacher would say, this is the only way you can do it. I'm kind of like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was never the strongest student at school, but as I progressed in my adult life, I got to see there was different ways of doing things, but you actually have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how much have we learned, let's say, even just from analyzing and thinking and teaching ourselves? Like, we've learned a lot over these years coming into business. We have a really well-rounded understanding of all aspects of business, but doing, I mean, I'm sure long-term we'll see more of the benefits of learning by doing as well, but just from an opportunity standpoint, doing over the last, even I would say 3 months has done more for my career and work towards this lifestyle I want to build than all this analyzing and studying and learning over the last 6 years, really 7 years going back into high school, right? It's just the simple change of doing, start posting. Even if I was too scared to do TikToks, I will start writing on LinkedIn. That's not that scary. Or start writing an article and start sharing it and doing that. Like, it's really, really stacked up fast. I can't, like we say, I can't imagine what it's going to look like in a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years.
Oh, it's quite exciting. But it's even yesterday when we were planning our Zoom meeting, and I told you, I'll do that later. And right away, I was like, no, that's not the mindset we can have. And then
that's a good example.
Exactly.
It's about doing anything, even if it's scary or it's not. It's just, if anything can get done right now, let's just do it. I mean, we're going to see how that pans out long term, but we're going to get way ahead long term just from doing.
We're going to fail, but we're going to learn a hell of a lot faster than if we took 5 months to plan. Imagine if we took 5 months to plan this podcast and everything.
I mean, even September, like, I kind of touched, like, we had a conversation, I guess, about it. Like, we thought, you know, we'll touch on this more later, but we have like 5-year plans, 2 years plans. You know, every week we do a review, and we'll dive into that a little bit more later. Like we were saying earlier, you know, we're planning on starting this podcast on September 1st. But, you know, we had a conversation, I don't know, back maybe 10 days ago, and it was like, we can't even wait that long because, like, the timing is now, and, like, timing and investing is a lot. And maybe if not everything, and timing in life and business, like, timing does matter. And it was just that mindset change from a few months ago, just keeping it going of, we need to start this podcast now. Like, I can't even imagine waiting till September 1st. Like, what would we have done? Planned out 50 episodes and probably never started the thing.
We'd make some excuse like we did in the past. I mean, remember our AI investor relations idea? And we planned the roadmap out, how we were going to price it, how we were going to design it, everything we were going to do. And we never did it. And then I got that call last week.
What happened?
It's like, that's a great idea. Yeah. And it's because we never executed. We were too focused on analyzing competitors, thinking about every little bit and piece of doing it, when really it's just doing it. And that comes back to the Larry Ellison quote I talked about yesterday, where it's the dumb doers will outcompete the smart thinkers.
That's right. And it's just a matter of doing. Yeah, like you said, like that idea, like we have had so many ideas over the years. And in hindsight, I'm thankful we didn't execute on any of them, because where we are right now, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I think we kind of had to do that, I guess, to get here, like doing this podcast and the content, working the capital markets and other opportunities, how they're unfolding. Like, that is the perfect scenario. So I'm so thankful we didn't, but like we planned so many businesses. I mean, in the last 3 months alone, this is like our third business idea. And I'm glad this is the one we're executing on. But even stating back to that 2 years ago, we were planning out construction companies and how we were going to execute on that. And I mean, we did a little bit of side work and stuff, but we didn't really follow through. And then we're like, okay, let's get out of construction. We're brainstorming that and, looking at like life insurance or, wealth management, stuff like that. Like that was kind of an avenue. And then the wealth management was another avenue. And then coming into the capital markets. And it was just, a lot of planning and thinking. Just really had to make that switch.
We really did. So glad we did. But what do you think was the key moment or process that really made you switch that mindset?
Yeah, from being a thinker to a doer.
Yeah.
I give you some credit for that. You would be better equipped to answer that question. When it comes to our journey, in mining and the capital markets and stuff, like I said last episode, I kind of followed your foot in that regard. And seeing you, I mean, you did it first. You became the doer, not the thinker in this particular situation. I'm so glad you did, because I was seeing how you were just doing. You were networking. You could touch on your story, chasing people down in Vancouver if you want. Like you started doing, and that was like inspiring, and just seeing how much success you got just from doing, like the network you built right away, the people you started to meet, how you got a job and everything. I'm like, man, I'm never going to get out of construction if I don't just start doing in this industry I want to do in. And so I don't know if you want to touch on that. Maybe you'd be better equipped to answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, so mindset wise, I hated construction like yourself. And there was no way I was going to get out if I just didn't get out of my comfort zone. And it's a phrase you say all the time, be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
That's right.
And in this industry, to succeed, you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Example being with 35 investors yesterday. I knew none of them, not one of them.
Yeah, I was asked. Yeah.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
And I was scared, to be honest with you.
Of course.
But you put on a smile, you shake their hands, and you realize they're just people.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the first mindset, or when I realized I had the mindset, was I wanted a job in the capital markets, like we touched last episode.
Yeah.
And I heard about this guy named David Hodge. He was the founder of Into Capital.
Yeah.
And Sean Westcott said, you should go talk to Dave.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sure. So he gave me the address of where Dave's office was. Didn't know what I was going to say. I was listening to, I think it was some Kanye West. Like, you can't tell me nothing or anything. Walking up, just hyping myself up. Don't even know what I'm going to say. Yeah. Get into the office building. He's on the 14th floor. And on my way up, I'm like, I'm just going to say I'm here to shake Dave Hodge's hand. Yeah. I see that office, get all ready, kind of shake out the jitters, walk up to the secretary and say, I'm here to shake Dave Hodge's hand.
Yeah.
She says, oh, he's not here right now. He's at the investment conference,
oh, no.
which is just where I came from.
Oh, yeah.
So then I ran back to the investment conference because I didn't want to miss him.
Yeah.
And asked for his number from Sean Westcott, gave it to him. He gave it to me. And I called him. I'm like, Dave, my name is Colton Wogan. I'm here to shake your hand.
Yeah.
I know you're at the conference. And he's like, perfect. Come to booth. I think it was 1,000 or whatever. I'm like, but there's only 250 booths. Turns out he was in the conference across the street going on at the same time.
Oh, no.
So then I had to run over there, or I didn't had to, but I wanted to run over there, call him again. And he snuck me into the conference because it was a paid admission fee.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And then I got to have a 15, 20-minute conversation with him. Didn't lead to anything, but it was just a great experience.
That's right.
And really showed that even though I was uncomfortable, just going for it gave me a lot of benefit and just confidence in general.
Yeah, that's a lot of it is too, right? Like you build confidence through time just from doing it as opposed to thinking. You're never going to get confident at something if you don't do it. Like you can get educated, but maybe not confident, if that makes sense. And maybe to touch on David, it's funny actually. He messaged me back on LinkedIn like 2 days ago. I messaged him like 3 months ago. So you could probably imagine how hard he is to track down. So good for you for doing it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably feel it every time when you started, at least a cold call, that kind of nervous feeling, or when you're waiting for a call from a big CEO.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to touch on that. Like, in the beginning, I plan out a call, I'm at work or whatever. I'm like 10 a.m. Okay, let's schedule the call for like 7 at night because I was coming from Victoria. And I get here, I'm like 6:45, I'm on the computer. I've got like the guy's LinkedIn profile thing. I've got my AirPods in, testing that they're working. I've got like a Google Docs of like questions to ask and like scenarios, like specific questions for him, general questions about the capital markets, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like going, and I like had like an intro script, like, "Hey, hello, this is Tyler Gettleman calling. Is this John?" And it was just like so probably bad, but it's just the simple act of doing that. And that was really like 10, like probably the first 10 calls. It was that. And the second he picked up the phone, I was out of my chair, pacing back and forth in the apartment, just like sweating, nervous. As soon as he's done talking, straight back to the computer, looking at the next question, pacing because I'm so nervous I couldn't sit there. And yeah, it was brutal, but just getting comfortable doing it and just forcing myself to do it because it's the right thing. Like that was huge. And I don't know, after 10, 15 calls, got a little more comfortable. After 30 calls, it was like really comfortable, and I mean, at that point, it's like no script, call the guy. I'm like lounging back in my chair, maybe drinking some water or fiddling with a pen. "Oh, hey, it's Tyler Gettleman going," like calling, "How's it going? What's new?" And it's just, you just get so comfortable so quick. It's, maybe we're a bit of a special case. I think we are, which you guys might find out how we feel in that regard. But yeah, just getting comfortable. It really does happen quick.
It does. And I think that's something that has helped us so far is we just got those reps in and it became second nature. Now
Exactly.
we'll call any CEO.
Yeah.
We'll get on any plane. We'll go to Toronto for the weekend. Our bank accounts won't appreciate it, but we'll go there just to meet that CEO.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to shake everyone's hands.
Yep.
We want to meet everyone. And it's, you got to be comfortable getting comfortable. And we understand that better than anyone now.
Yeah.
Look, we went over, what was it, Monday, for one meeting. Our whole day was just waiting for one meeting, then get back on the hello and come home.
Yeah, but it's important. It's what you want to do. And like, even if it's nerve wracking, it's just like, let's just go do this. It's the right thing. It's something we want to do. You just have to do it.
Exactly. It becomes fun. And, I hope you guys can pick up something, one or two lessons from this. Obviously, we're still young in our capital markets journey, but you're not going to succeed if you don't do anything. So if you see that person and you really want to go shake their hand, just do it. What's the worst they say? They don't have time for you. Okay. At least you tried.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they have $100 million or a negative net worth.
Yeah. They'll appreciate the effort and the energy that you're putting in. I mean, I know we both found that to be true, in the beginning of more of my networking when I was kind of still having those calls. Like I've had so many calls now, you've had 10 times more than me, but people are like, "Oh, how do you get a CEO on the phone?" Or "How do you schedule these calls?" And it's like, it's funny. It's like, if you just do and you reach out, a lot of people are willing to talk to you. It doesn't matter if they're brand new and, you can relate to them because they're only 3 months ahead of you, or if they're 60 and sold their company for $500 million. Like if you come to people and you don't be scared and you want to learn from them or talk to them, most people are very receptive. I don't know if the capital markets and mining it is pretty people-y, the business. So maybe it's an easier example than if you were trying to get into something else like tech or something. I don't know, but at least for what we're doing, people are pretty receptive to having a conversation.
Yeah, right. Surprisingly. And it's funny. Anyone can go on LinkedIn, set up a profile and start connecting with CEOs. I think you get 10 messages where you can add a little note before it runs out. Something, but that's just even how you start.
Yeah.
But no, you don't need to have a degree, 10 years of capital markets experience to get a job. A lot of CEOs appreciate that you're putting that step forward and you're just trying. That's what they want. They want that grit and they want the passion almost, I'd say, of just wanting a job.
Yeah. I mean, that'll get you a long ways in this industry. If you prove that you have passion, you really want to succeed, as we know, you're going to get opportunities on opportunities on opportunities. So I want to ask you, now that we kind of understand where we came from, where we're at, how are you applying this mindset moving forward? How are you operating day to day? How are you thinking for next week or 2 years from now?
Well, I think we're very similar in that manner, as I have a 5-year roadmap and then a roadmap a year from now, kind of outlining what I want to achieve, skills I want to gain, and what success looks like to me. So I know you even touched on this. So success looks like for the end of 2025, and I'm quoting you on this, 2,000 LinkedIn connections.
That's right. Yeah. That's my goal. I don't know what I put on Twitter. I think I said 500 on Twitter. I mean, it's hard to grow. And what was the other thing? Like 30 subscribers on Substack. Like, they're all very doable, but like good goals. And it's like they're structured. I understand how many every week or every month I need to do. And then diving into this podcast and diving into now doing the short form content, like I was scared to post on Instagram for how many years, for why, I don't know. And then you just do one and it's like, okay, let's start. Now I got to create more goals just so I stay focused on how many podcasts we want to create or how many posts on TikTok or how many followers I want to try to get to, where we want to grow the podcast to. It's just from doing the responsibilities are stacking up, the opportunities are stacking up. Now I need to set more goals.
And that's a goal I didn't even think about we need to set, is where we want the podcast to be for subscribers and viewership by the end of 2025.
Exactly.
But come back to that. So yeah, it's a 5-year roadmap, 1-year roadmap. And then I have weekly as well as monthly
That's right.
lessons. So each week I write down 5 of my biggest lessons. What was my greatest failure of the week? Did I not make my 100 cold calls a day? Did I not communicate well to investors? Right. Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because then we'll look back on it, we'll laugh at it now, but it's good because then you keep that in mind when we're talking.
For sure.
Or even during our conversations, ensuring we pause and use the correct tonality.
For sure.
Which comes down to sales and all that. But that's kind of my process and how I'm ensuring my mindset progresses. I'm sure you're very similar in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing a review every week. I know you do the same thing. So I'll touch on it and it's like, okay, let's read a review. And then what went wrong? Like, do I feel like I sucked at communicating this week? Maybe I don't feel like I do good on the podcast, or I have a shitty call with somebody. I'm like, oh, I wish I said something better. And then it's like 9 p.m. on a Saturday evening, and we're talking to ChatGPT saying, teach me how to have better tonality when I'm speaking, or how to pause in conversation and stuff like that. That's kind of our mindset. We want to be the best so badly, and we're working like harder than anybody to get to that level. It's just a lot of, maybe that this is kind of, I didn't even think about this, but we changed from yes thinking and seeing how people are doing to doing, and then now we're stacking that. But what are we doing? The analyzing is on ourselves now. So we're action takers, but we're still analyzing every week what went wrong, what went good, and then the skills that we want to build on for next week. I don't know.
Well, and that was a great point you just had too, as well, about how we want to work the long hours and we want to constantly improve. As you and I, every day, we're really nitpicking each other on what we could do better. Even
before this podcast, during this podcast,
there was many takes where Tyler was like, "Come on, man, you got to be better at this." But that's something unfortunate we have. We can really rely on each other to
be honest,
and make sure we're constantly improving. And we always want to be better. We don't want to settle for what we're currently doing. We don't want the podcast with 5 subscribers. We want to get this podcast to 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep growing, and we want our communication to be better. We want everyone to understand what we're saying. We want to be able to raise capital. We want to be able to make great short edits on TikTok.
That's right. It's like everything we do, we just want to get better every single day. It's really about moving. I saw TikTok earlier this morning. It's like whatever you do, you got to move the needle every single day towards that better future, that person that you always want to work towards. Even if the guy in the video said, even if you're looking at it through a microscope, move that needle a little bit every day, and it's going to really compound over time.
Isn't it funny? TikTok has so many motivational
depends what your algorithm is.
Depends on what your algorithm is. I know ours is similar in that way, but and for people who are listening, once again, even if you haven't developed that mindset yet, you can start after listening to this podcast, just simply by writing down, what are my goals for the week or the month? And what do I want to improve in myself?
And then do it. That's the funny thing. It's like really, I don't know. You just eventually, if you want it bad enough, which we do, you'll start doing, which we have done. And it is just about doing it. It's taking that first step, even if it's really small and you're scared. You don't have to start, cold calling Robert Friedland on day one. But, do something, post one thing, write one tweet, make an account. Like it is just, even if it's the smallest thing, just keep pushing that ball forward.
And that's another thing too. I'm going to get a little off topic here, but Robert Friedland, just answer my cold call, man. It's been 7 times. I'm going to get you.
Yeah. You're going to be on that podcast.
Exactly.
I'm going to fly you out here, man. You can sit right here.
If you block my number, I have it written down. I'll call you on a different number. So just answer, please. Just want a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
But other than that little funny comment, that comes down to, again, we're never going to quit.
No.
We're always going to keep going forward.
That's right.
And you even touched on this in episode 1 in construction, is when we were working construction together, we saw problems in the system and realized this is what could be done better. This is how you could save material, manpower. They're losing money here.
Yeah.
And that's just always how we've operated. We kind of have that ability where we can identify the flaws in the business.
Yeah, exactly. And we do that everywhere. We take that everywhere. Whether that's in our construction jobs a couple years ago, or like, what we're working on right now, we're analyzing ourselves, each other, as to how we can improve with our content and our communication and our planning, whether that's businesses we're coming into or whatever. It's like really quick, we're able to see, I don't know, we just have like a sense for it, or a good eye, where people are missing out, where they can improve on, and then applying ourselves on top of that, fix this and that, and then let us go. Like you say, give us the keys to the car, let's drive.
Exactly. And we'll go 100 miles an hour. That's what we want,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And we might crash the car, but we'll just get another car and drive again.
That's right. That's what Alex Hormozy said, right? What did you say last time? It's been broke 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, broke three times, and he's built it back every single
Now
time.
look at him, right?
Exactly. And it's
Just trying to keep pushing forward, no matter what happens, whether you fail. Every no turns into every no is closer to a yes, right?
exactly. And it's like Jay said too, is we're gonna have days where we post these videos and we might get no views for a week, months. But it's the repetition of keep going and keeping that mindset of moving forward. And like you said, moving the needle, and eventually we'll reap the rewards.
That's right. Well, exactly. Especially with content, like with anything in life, just staying persistent, it's going to work out long term. But especially with the content, I know for a fact, with the podcasts, with the writing, like on LinkedIn, I can mention to Jay in our meeting, I did good on my first, month of writing on LinkedIn. And then I had like 2 months where it was just duds. Nobody was viewing it, 0 likes, barely any impressions. And then even in small sample over like 4 or 5 months, coming around to now, it's like everything's doing great again. I'm getting 500 impressions and a dozen likes. And I mean, I know that really doesn't sound like much when you compare it to an Instagram photo where all your friends and family like, but coming from nothing, it really started up here, went down and stayed persistent. And now it's kind of coming up again. And I know I'm going to end up higher on the other side.
It's kind of like the markets in life. It's up and down. You gotta stay.
But it goes up long term if you stay in.
It's building that long-term value.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You gotta be buying and investing in yourself at the bottom, knowing you'll reap the rewards at the top.
Exactly. I think we'll really see that come into fruition through the content, through the podcast, and especially the short form content. I'm sure with the Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikToks, that'll compound quicker than other things, I think. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that develops.
I agree. I mean, we've already it's been one episode, but we've seen I wouldn't say reap the rewards, but we've seen hints of success from the couple. I'm not going to mention the emails we've got saying they like our podcast and want to talk about opportunities.
People are interested in maybe business opportunities or synergies or anything like that. And, people reaching out to you personally and just saying, oh, I thought that was awesome. Like, that feels good. That's a reward on its own. And I mean, maybe to touch on how we take the feedback, like the good feedback makes us feel good, keeps us motivated, but even taking the negative feedback, like last episode, everybody said I looked like I was laying down. Now, obviously, it was just a bad camera angle. It didn't work out. So we put this above our heads a little bit, angled down. So hopefully it looks better, but just taking in any feedback, applying it, and just keep pushing forward.
I guess, we can keep going on and on and on, but it comes down to we're okay with criticism. Some people aren't and find it a negative, but you're never going to improve if you can't.
And when you want success as bad as us, and you want to be the best, and you want to get at the top of whatever you're doing, which I felt that way my whole life, everything I've ever done, I wanted to be the best, or why bother? You got to take the criticism. You got to take the good and the bad and apply it and think.
I agree.
100%.
Gotta wear it on the sleeve and just keep moving forward. And, people, I saw a quote the other day where they said, Queen Elizabeth has been dead for a year, and you didn't think about her until just now when I said it, right? And she was...
For sure. You know what? It's funny. I got a really specific piece of advice. I don't know, what was it? Summer before going into grade 11 or something, like years ago. Some guy said to me, because I was like worked up. I like messed up, and I was like scared of my boss back then. And some guy was like, is it going to matter in 100 years? I'm like, well, no, obviously not. He's like, don't worry about it. And it's like true. It's kind of funny. You can be one of the most like influential people, and after you die, like give it some time, people start to forget about you. Or like Yeah, like the Queen, like everybody knows who the Queen was. I haven't thought about her in a year.
Exactly.
It's true. It's like, why be scared to do something if you want success or you want something, you got to do what it takes to get there and not be afraid about what other people are going to say about you or going to think, right? Even if they talk shit behind your back.
Oh, and I think that was another reason we didn't pursue the content right away is we were scared people were going to say something. I mean, say something in the comments. Who cares? We'll print it out and put it on our wall.
We'll have the mean comments section back here
Exactly.
next episode.
But it's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
And people are going to hate on your growth because they wish they could do it.
Exactly. They're too scared to do it. 100%.
But this has been a great conversation.
It is.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for listening, guys. We kind of just want to get into it, share a little bit more about the mindset behind the Real Leverage podcast and, us individually as well. Just maybe give you a bit more of a deep dive. Kind of teased it last episode.
We did tease it. And again, reach out to us about anything, any questions. We're still so young in our capital markets journey, but if you can develop this mindset, it's been 6 months for me, 3 months for Tyler, and the compound interest already is absurd.
Yeah, if you asked me, maybe let's say like 2 years ago, if I just started it, like I could get in this position or get the opportunities I'm getting, and I guess just get in this position and build out this life I want this quickly, I would say you're insane, and I would keep swinging the hammer. And we did, right? And it's just funny because it was like I really needed to I quit my construction job before signing a contract. I went all into this industry. I've never been happier. Like day to day, this is the most fun I've ever had, the most I've enjoyed. And I'm working all day, every day, nights, weekends too. I'm working, but it's just such a fun industry, and it's what I want to do. It doesn't feel like work. It's just so enjoyable. And being able to schedule your day out, like go to the gym where we play tennis in the morning sometimes, come home, work all day, go for a coffee, work all night. Like, it's just amazing.
It's a life. I wouldn't change it for anything.
No.
I'd do it for free. Preferably not, but I would do it for free.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
For a bit.
A
little bit.
Month or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you for joining the Real Leverage podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks.